Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I am Fugget, and that stands for the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. Okay, today guys, I want to talk to you about grocery shopping. So when you're trying to get lean or you're trying to stay lean, you want to have some kind of an idea of what you're going to get when you go to the grocery store, when you pick up things for the week, doing some meal prep, getting things kind of in a state of getting ready to be cooked or easy to go, quick, low calorie meals with high nutrients. Okay, so there's a lot of information out there on this topic, and I'm going to have in the notes below on this video complete grocery list. So I might miss some items in this video, but I want you to know all that content's there underneath the video. So the full grocery list. The first thing I want to talk about is produce or fruits and vegetables. So, everyone has different tastes, and depending on what you're going to pair it with in a meal, you're going to choose your vegetables based on that, based on any recipes you have or things you're going to combine it with if you're having a protein or a lean meat with it. Different vegetables go with different meals. So it's a side dish, or if you're a vegetarian, it might be the majority of your meal. So you want to find good fresh vegetables, and if you're looking for leanness, fat loss, and you tend to be a little bit carb sensitive or a little insulin resistant, meaning you kind of store a little bit more of your fat around the midsection, staying with more vegetables versus fruit, so a lot higher in your vegetable count than your fruit. So looking at things like asparagus, anything green, let's just make it real simple. Anything green as far as vegetables is great. A starchier carbohydrate like corn or potatoes, depending on your level of sensitivity to sugar, that might be permissible for you. But for those of us like myself who are doing ketogenic diet, those things aren't on that list. Bad choice as far as if you're going to have a starch, and you still want something like a potato, or that is a potato, sweet potatoes or yams are great. A lot higher in vitamins like vitamin A. So you want to go with that. And then if you're going to go with the fruit, obviously we start with choice, what's your preference, etc. And if you're looking for some guidance to really make your best choices with fruit, I would stick with things like berries that have a lower glycemic index. So you want to go with blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. Those would be your staples there. Of course, bananas would be more starchy and sugary. So, if you have whatever fruit is fresh in your region of the country or the world, citrus is good all year, or at certain times. I don't think I've ever seen anyone become obese eating an orange, so or apples. So knock yourself out. But just watch it with the amount. If you're looking to see a significant difference in your leanness, especially if you don't normally eat a lot of fruit. Okay, so that's where you want to start there. The next thing you want to do is you're looking at lean proteins. So proteins being the building blocks of muscle, looking at stocking up in your cart turkey, chicken, fish, shrimp, lean red meat. If you're doing a ketogenic or low carb diet, pork, bacon, or if you're looking to be a little bit more conscious with calories and fat, then maybe looking at turkey bacon. That being said, sometimes people, depending on the kind of life you lead, the kind of schedule you have, if you're wash and go and just trying to hurry up, and you're not going to do able to really stop and eat something, but you need something that's going to be it's going to have a longer shelf life for you, look at things like beef jerky, things like that, where you're getting protein in a sealable package that's going to stay, and you don't have to worry about coolers and ice, or keeping it fresh. And or if you don't have access to some way to heat up that food midday, say you're taking it for lunch, beef jerky and like a handful of like almonds, walnuts, things like that could be a really good powerhouse snack that gives you some protein and protein and fats rather, and will help you to stop the temptation to go through a drive-through and to eat a bunch of junk. So we don't want to do that if at all possible. Okay, obviously in the same with the protein section, not only the animal products with meat, but also looking at eggs. If you're an egg eater, I know I've years ago would do a lot of hard-boiled eggs, but I tend to now I think I just got really tired of that, and I eat a lot of scrambled eggs. So I'll have scrambled eggs and a side of bacon, and that's fine. It was hard to get rid of the toast, though, I'll be honest, with the ketogenic diet, but now I really don't miss it. It's all good. That being said, with protein, I mean, you know, if you're eating dairy, I mean, there's cottage cheese, you can have Greek yogurt, things of that nature. Those aren't things I normally eat myself, so I don't tend to consume them. If you're looking at cheese and you're trying to keep the fat down, look at the string cheese. They have that nice, easy package, and you can throw that in a cooler or, you know, in your purse, or hopefully, I don't know, if you're a male, it's a merce. Anyways, so thinking about that. If you're looking for breakfast ideas, sometimes people will either skip breakfast, they're not a breakfast person, or, you know, the whole idea behind breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You know what, that's debatable depending on the research you look at. I say go by your body, see how you feel. Like some people doing, if they work out in the morning, I'll have clients that if they had a meal before they came in, they'd feel like crap. They'd feel heavy, bloated, and they're not going to get an effective workout because their body is now sending and pulling blood into the digestive tract, trying to, you know, into the stomach, trying to digest, and they do better on an empty stomach. Now, if you do the empty stomach and you feel lightheaded, that's a sign your blood sugar's probably dropped, or it's probably a sign your blood sugar's dropped. So you need to just be cautious of that and have something that's going to stay light on your stomach and help you to feel good and power through your workout. So some people do oatmeal. Now, I have a keto answer to oatmeal, and that is having a mix of different seeds. You have flax, hemp, and chia seed. Okay, and I buy it in one easy mix now, which is fantastic. Okay, so you take the mix of chia, flax, and hemp seeds, and what you would do is you would then put it in a bowl, a little bit of water, or you can either boil water or you can have it cook with the water in the bowl, microwave. Put that in there for about 2 minutes. In the meantime, get some cinnamon ready, some coconut oil, and if you're a fan of either some type of peanut butter or maybe an almond butter, things like that, some kind of a nutty butter usually is what I'll use. About a tablespoon of each. Once the mixture is cooked in the microwave, putting that nut butter in there with the cinnamon, mix that up. Let that nice hot oatmeal-like texture absorb all of that oil. And then once you have that all cooked, then you can use some frozen berries. If you're a fan of frozen berries, I like the way a frozen blueberry thrown right into that hot mixture kind of gives it a little tartness, and it cools it at the same time. And that's a real good powerhouse go-to breakfast that's relatively low in carbohydrate, tons of healthy fat, tons of antioxidants, and it's a little bit of protein there, so it's really satisfying. So it'll stay in the gut longer, and you'll be full and have a lot of energy early on in your day. So after you look at you know, those types of carbohydrates as well as proteins, you want to look at your fats. So you want to be able to have things like first cold press olive oil, avocado oil perhaps, or avocados if you're a big fan of guacamole, things of that nature. Of course, like we had talked about, having coconut oil, peanut butter, nut butter, some type of butter like that, peanut butter it being my preference. Just got to watch it a little bit with that. Also, mixed nuts. So looking at like different things, if you're looking at ketogenic, you're talking about pecans, walnuts, what the heck was that nut? There's a bunch of different ones. I'll have it in the description, you guys. For some reason, I'm trying to do too many things today, so I'm a little bit scattered. But looking at, like, especially with ketogenic, you're looking at nuts that are like going to be your fattiest, richest nuts. Those are going to provide the most value, and even though it's counterintuitive and your calories are high with those nuts, if you're doing really low carb eating, that is essential, and you will see fat literally ripping off your body. It's amazing. As far as beverages, you guys, this is a big one where people stumble. I've had clients that drink like you know, almost 2 liters of pop a day. And, you know, with regular sugar, cola or soda, if you're not from Michigan, we call it pop. Everyone makes fun of me for that. But, you know, staying with things, if you're a coffee drinker, try to drink your coffee Either if you're ketogenic with some cream or milk, that would be appropriate for that. Trying to eliminate your sugar, and if you like artificial sweeteners or stevia, that's fine as well. I like to add a little bit of cinnamon in my coffee, and I also like to put coconut oil in the coffee and mix that up. And it is really tasty. You got to give that a try. For some of you, if it's appropriate, almond milk is also a nice substitute for heavy cream if you're trying to reduce your total calories. Of course, tea is permissible. Water is the best for you, and most people aren't drinking enough water. And sometimes if you don't feel thirsty and you start drinking more water, all of a sudden you'll find that you'll have more thirst. So if you drink a lot of water, you'll want more water, and it just really works with so many different body systems and elimination and keeping your overall health. So I get this question a lot, and this is a pitfall for me at times, is diet soda. I have gone on and off of drinking Diet Coke for a few years now. And when I was a kid, my parents drank a lot of Pepsi, always Pepsi in cans. And as soon as we stopped doing that, my mom started to get a little bit more health conscious. Everybody in the house lost weight not drinking Pepsi. Yeah, you might get a little bit of sugar withdrawals and caffeine headaches, but that's why if you're a caffeine drinker like me, keeping coffee in, as long as you know your other health markers are healthy, isn't going to derail you from your fat loss efforts. And in fact, there's studies that show that extra caffeine could actually assist in your efforts. So diet soda if you must. If you're trying to wean from regular soda to diet, then sorry about that. Then, if you're trying to wean from regular soda to diet, it's not a bad transition. And especially if you're really addicted to it, then it's definitely going to work to your benefit to make that subtle shift. Some people like to go cold turkey with things, and that's fine, but I prefer to do it as painless as possible if you can do that. So the other thing is, what do you do about if you're a gum chewer or you like mints and candy and things like that? Well, I'm a huge gum chewer. I love it. Sometimes you might see me chewing like a little horse here. I'm trying to be more conscious of that and not do it as much. But sugar-free gum, plenty of them on the market, sugar-free mints. Just don't continue to just consume all the time, seeing if you're just trying to replace it with, your natural sugar cravings. If you're if you have a sweet tooth, trying to just, use it as needed to keep your mouth moist, especially if you talk a lot for a living like I do, and can go on and on and on for hours. It's terrible, but I love it. Anyways, okay, so you've got your staples, etc. And okay, so what are some foods that you can have on standby that aren't necessarily junk food, but it could actually be like a better bad choice? And if you're like really dying for something and you feel like you might just go off the rails and eat a whole pizza or run over to a burger place, what can you do to sort of get a little taste of something, but it's still kind of permissible? Well, I would say one of the things is, while you're at the grocery store, one of the things you can do is pick up a cauliflower crust pizza. Now, I know that not all of the brands are fantastic, and some people have different preferences. So I would recommend that maybe you pick up 2 different brands the first time and give it a shot. Cauliflower frozen pizza, a lot less calories, a lot less carbohydrates, and in my opinion, I don't really see or feel, taste the difference between that and a regular pizza. It's not 100%, because I love pizza. So I would say you're getting, like, if you rate pizza being a 1 to 100, and it's at 100, this is about 85%, if not 90% of the taste and quality that you get in a regular pizza. So I would say that the cauliflower pizza, guys, is a great way to go. Also, maybe like a vegetarian or some type of a healthy burrito. You also have like Smart Choice or Weight Watchers type frozen meals. Those are best left as not a daily staple where you do that once a day, or it's kind of like a go-to, almost like a fire extinguisher on the wall. If you have one a week and it still kind of fits into your macronutrients or into your calories for the day, however you're measuring, showing a deficit for your eating plan, I would say just have a couple on standby, just in case, you know, you're just like getting home really late from work and there's no way in hell that you're going to make like a chicken dinner or do something where it's going to require more effort. So, you know, think about those things. If you are a big chip eater or you like salty things and with things with a crunch, and you're doing a low carbohydrate diet, pork rinds are a fantastic substitution for that. So if you love chips, or let's say you like barbecue chips, going to a barbecue flavored pork rind is going to do wonders for you as far as keeping your carbohydrates still low and not losing anything as far as getting that crunch and not feeling like you're so deprived on your diet. And also, of course, if you have, like we talked about, the sweet tooth, or used to having a little dessert or something sweet, you know, the better bad choices are to go with like a sugar-free Jell-O. You can even put whipped cream on that if you watch the sugar content of it, as well as a sugar-free popsicle, especially if you live in a warm region and you like that ice cold something, little something. So anyways, you guys, I can go on and on. It's not a complete list, but it's kind of a good go-to. You could just copy, paste, or screenshot or whatever. My grocery list, add to it, make your own. If you have some ideas or thoughts on the eating, I'm sure it was incomplete, but it was something to get you started. And I wish you well on your journey, you guys, at the grocery store. Have a list, check it twice. I want you to be nice and not naughty. That didn't rhyme, but it's my deal. All right, guys, 5nothing100nothing.com, where you can see tons of free video, audio resources via podcast. I think we're on 12 platforms now, and we'll have some merchandise available soon, some badass looking stuff on quality material. I don't like cheap t-shirts, and if you wouldn't look cool wearing it, I'm not going to sell it. So we'll go around the block with that one sometime soon. And thank you guys for checking in. You guys are awesome. Go out there, get your food, meal prep, be lean and mean, undersized underdog machines, you guys. Take care.